2011 CPI DRM chopper. Price, $8,799. Mileage, 8,000 miles. Location, Douglasville, Georgia. A bold orange custom chopper built in the true long and low American style, this machine stands out more like rolling art than a standard motorcycle. With relatively low mileage at 8,000 miles, it appears lightly used for its age and likely spent more time as a showpiece or weekend cruiser than a daily rider. The extended frame and custom stance give it that stretched, aggressive silhouette typical of high-end custom choppers. Power comes from a 120 cubic inch Ultima L Brutto V-twin engine, a well-known aftermarket performance motor designed for strong torque delivery and loud, raw character. Paired with an Ultima 6-speed transmission, the setup is built to handle high torque while keeping highway cruising comfortable at lower RPMs. Custom builds like this are focused less on speed in the sportbike sense and more on deep, steady acceleration with heavy mechanical feel and signature V-twin rumble. 2004 Big Dog Motorcycles Chopper. Price, $13,500. Mileage, 988 miles. Location, Knoxville, Tennessee. A red custom chopper with extremely low mileage, this big dog motorcycle presents more like a preserved performance showpiece than a heavily used road bike. With under 1,000 miles reported, it has likely spent most of its life stored rather than ridden, and the seller describes it as being kept in a climate-controlled environment, which typically helps protect paint, chrome, and mechanical components from aging. Power comes from a large displacement V-twin engine typical of big dog builds, designed to deliver strong low-end torque and a deep, rumbling exhaust note. Paired with a manual transmission, the bike offers direct rider control over power delivery, emphasizing the traditional cruiser feel where throttle input and engine response are closely connected. Chopper-style geometry generally prioritizes long wheelbase stability and straight-line cruising comfort over sharp handling or aggressive cornering. 2014 Custom Chopper. Price, $14,995. Mileage, 2,000 miles. Location, Chapin, South Carolina. A blue custom chopper built in 2014, this machine carries a low mileage profile with only about 2,000 miles, suggesting it has been lightly ridden since completion. The design follows the traditional stretched cruiser style, but the real focus is on the high-performance engine build and upgraded drivetrain components that push it far beyond a standard Harley-style cruiser. Power comes from an SNS 113 cubic inch Evolution-style V-twin engine, bored and built with high-performance internals for strong torque output. The setup includes an SNS Super G carburetor, a 600 lift camshaft, and a high 10.5:1 compression ratio, all of which work together to increase airflow, combustion efficiency, and raw power delivery. SNS crankcases further reinforce durability, making the engine capable of handling aggressive performance use. 2006 Big Dog Motorcycles K9. Price, $11,500. Mileage, 8,500 miles. Location, Decatur, Alabama. A blue custom Big Dog K9 chopper with showbike pedigree, this machine stands out as a one-off build that has reportedly been featured in a Big Dog calendar and earned show recognition. The mileage of around 8,500 miles suggests it has seen some road use but still remains relatively low for a bike of its age, especially considering its custom and collectible nature. Power comes from a 117 cubic inch SNS V-twin engine, a well-known high-performance setup in the custom cruiser world, built for strong torque and deep, rumbling power delivery. Diamond-cut heads add both visual detail and improved airflow characteristics, contributing to both aesthetics and performance. Combined with a manual transmission, the bike delivers direct rider engagement with firm, mechanical power transfer typical of large-displacement custom cruisers. 2006 Big Dog Motorcycles Chopper. Price: $6,000. Location: Largo, Florida. A custom Big Dog chopper finished in a classic stretched cruiser style, this bike appears to be a more budget-priced example compared to typical Big Dog builds, which often sit in the high-performance custom motorcycle category. The listing does not provide mileage or detailed specifications, so the exact build level and mechanical condition are unclear beyond the used good description. Big Dog motorcycles are generally known for large displacement V-twin engines, long wheelbase frames, and heavy custom styling focused on torque and cruising presence rather than sport performance. Even without full specs, bikes in this category typically deliver strong low-end power and a deep exhaust note characteristic of American chopper design. On the road, a machine like this is expected to feel heavy, stable, and torque-driven, with smooth but forceful acceleration suited for straight cruising rather than aggressive handling or cornering. 2004 Big Dog Motorcycles Chopper. Price: $7,000. Mileage: 12,000 miles. Location: St. Augustine, Florida. An orange custom Big Dog chopper with a single-owner history, this bike sits in the budget range for a brand known for high-end custom cruisers. With 12,000 miles on the clock, it shows moderate use for a large V-twin chopper, suggesting it has been ridden and enjoyed rather than just stored as a showpiece. The seller notes that everything works and it rides well, indicating it is currently functional and road-ready. Big Dog choppers are typically built around large displacement V-twin engines, long wheelbase frames, and heavy cruiser geometry designed for torque-rich, low RPM riding. Even without detailed engine specifications listed here, the platform is known for strong pulling power, deep exhaust tone, and a relaxed but commanding riding position. On the road, a bike like this delivers a steady. 1998 Bourget Python. Price: $5,700. Mileage: 500 miles. Location: Hobe Sound, Florida. A red custom Bourget Python chopper, this bike represents a heavily styled American custom build with extremely low reported mileage of around 500 miles, suggesting it has barely been used since completion or refurbishment. With a two-owner history and a package deal resale situation, it reads more like a secondary ownership transfer of a custom show-style bike rather than a long-term rider's machine. Bourget builds are typically known for extreme custom fabrication, long frames, aggressive stance, and large displacement V-twin engines designed for torque-heavy cruising. While exact engine specs aren't listed here, Python models from this builder are generally focused on high visual impact and strong low-end power delivery rather than sport bike-style performance. The manual transmission keeps rider control direct, reinforcing the traditional chopper riding experience. Custom motorcycle. Price, $6,500. Location, Forest City, North Carolina. A Softail-style custom cruiser built around a RevTech 100 cubic inch engine. This motorcycle sits in the mid-size performance cruiser category with a focus on classic Harley-inspired styling and aftermarket power. The Softail frame design gives it a cleaner rear suspension look while still maintaining basic ride comfort compared to rigid chopper builds. The RevTech 100 engine is a popular aftermarket V-twin known for strong torque delivery and straightforward mechanical reliability when properly maintained. It provides a traditional cruiser feel, low-end pull, steady acceleration, and a deep exhaust tone typical of air-cooled V-twin setups. Paired with a custom-build chassis, the bike likely emphasizes style and cruising comfort over aggressive performance or racing use. On the road, a setup like this delivers smooth, torque-heavy riding with a relaxed but confident feel. 2003 Santee Industries Custom Chopper. Price, $6,500. Location, Folkestone, Georgia. A classic custom chopper built on a Santee frame, this motorcycle carries the long, stretched stance typical of early 2000s American custom builds. The design is focused on presence and traditional chopper styling, with a clean, minimal body layout that highlights the engine and frame as the main visual elements. A clean Georgia title and runs great description suggest it is currently operational and ready for riding. Power comes from an 80 cubic inch Evolution-style V-twin engine, a widely used Harley-based platform known for reliability, simple maintenance, and steady torque delivery. This engine is not built for extreme horsepower, but rather for consistent low-end pull and that classic air-cooled V-twin character. Paired with a custom Santee frame, the bike maintains the stretched geometry and low riding position that defines the chopper style. On the road, this setup delivers smooth. 2009 West Coast Choppers Bobber. Price, $18,000. Mileage, 4,000 miles. Location, Palm Coast, Florida. A black custom bobber built by West Coast Choppers, this bike carries a stripped-down, aggressive stance that focuses on minimal bodywork and exposed mechanical design. With only about 4,000 miles and a single-owner history, it appears lightly used since its frame-up construction, suggesting it has been more of a premium custom build than a heavily ridden daily machine. Power comes from a 103 cubic inch Fatso V-twin motor, paired with a 6-speed transmission and a twin-cam top-end configuration. This setup is designed to deliver strong mid-range torque and smooth highway cruising power, while still maintaining the classic Harley-derived V-twin character. The combination of displacement and gearing gives it a balance of low-end pull and relaxed higher-speed riding capability. On the road, a bobber like this feels compact, direct, and torque-heavy. 1997 Honda Shadow. Price, $2,000. Mileage, 13,264 miles. Location, Maryville, Tennessee. A brown custom bobber built from a Honda Shadow platform, this bike has been modified into a stripped-down, minimalist cruiser with a raw, aggressive look. The relatively low mileage suggests it hasn't been heavily used over its life, and the recent Just Got It Running detail indicates it has spent time sitting before being brought back into working condition. Power comes from Honda's reliable V-twin cruiser engine, known for smooth operation, predictable torque, and long-term durability rather than extreme performance. In bobber form, much of the original bodywork is typically removed, shifting the focus toward simplicity, mechanical exposure, and lightweight feel. The manual transmission keeps the riding experience direct and controlled, especially at low to mid speeds where cruiser engines perform best. On the road, a setup like this feels light, simple, and character-driven. 2009 Harley Davidson Custom. Price, $5,000. Mileage, 60,350 miles. Location, Middleburg, Florida. A silver custom Harley Davidson build based on a 1,200 cubic centimeters platform, this bike blends factory cruiser roots with aftermarket performance upgrades. The higher mileage suggests regular long-term use, meaning it has likely been ridden consistently rather than stored as a showpiece, which is common for heavily modified Harley builds in this category. Power comes from a 1,200 cubic centimeters V-twin engine that has been upgraded with an SNS top end and a mild camshaft. The SNS components improve airflow and combustion efficiency, while the cam upgrade shifts engine timing for stronger mid-range performance and better throttle response. This setup typically results in more torque, quicker acceleration feel, and a stronger pull compared to a stock 1,200 cubic centimeters Harley engine. On the road, this type of build delivers a classic Harley experience: low-end torque, steady cruising power. 1979 Harley Davidson Electra Glide. Price, $6,800. Mileage, 11,990 miles. Location, Alachua, Florida. A tan vintage Electra Glide, this classic Harley-Davidson touring motorcycle represents the old-school long-distance cruiser era. With under 12,000 miles reported, the mileage is relatively low for its age, suggesting either limited use or periods of storage over its lifetime. The listing describes it as a great running bike, indicating it is currently operational despite its age. Power comes from a traditional air-cooled V-twin engine typical of late 1970s Harley touring models, known for steady low-end torque, simple mechanical design, and a strong character-driven exhaust note. Paired with a manual transmission, the riding experience is direct and mechanical, requiring rider engagement through shifting and throttle control rather than modern electronics or refinement. On the road, a machine like this feels heavy, stable, and relaxed. 2007 Bourget Dragon Chopper. Price: $9,000. Mileage: 10,600 miles. Location: Grant, Florida. A black custom Bourget Dragon Chopper. This bike is a rigid frame, old-school style build designed for maximum visual impact and raw riding feel. With just over 10,000 miles, it shows moderate use for a custom machine and is currently ridden regularly, meaning it is not a static showpiece but an active street chopper. Power comes from an SNS 113 cubic-inch V-twin engine, a well-known high-performance cruiser motor built for strong torque and deep, heavy acceleration. Paired with a 6-speed transmission and a Primo open primary drive, the setup emphasizes mechanical simplicity and direct power transfer, giving the bike a very raw, connected feel when accelerating. The rigid frame combined with a Springer front end reinforces its traditional chopper geometry, prioritizing style and presence over comfort. On the road, a rigid chopper like this delivers a very distinct riding experience. Strong vibration. 1994 Harley Davidson Softail. Price: $9,000. Mileage: 12,345 miles. Location: Nashville, Tennessee. A black Evo-powered Softail-style Harley, this bike blends factory cruiser heritage with a chopper-inspired daily rider setup. The mileage is relatively low for its age, suggesting it has been used consistently but not excessively over time. Described as a daily Evo chopper, it appears to be a ride-ready machine rather than a project or show build. Power comes from Harley's Evolution Evo V-twin engine, a highly regarded air-cooled motor known for reliability, simple maintenance, and steady torque delivery. This engine produces smooth, usable low-end power that works well for cruising and everyday riding. Paired with a manual transmission, the rider gets full mechanical control over gear changes and engine response. On the road, this type of Softail feels balanced and predictable. 2000 Harley Davidson Custom Chopper. Price: $6,500. Location: Fort Myers, Florida. A heavily customized black Harley Davidson chopper built on a stretched 38-degree raked Softail frame. This machine carries a strong long and low stance designed for visual impact and highway cruising presence. The stretched geometry and raked front end give it the classic chopper silhouette, extended forks, aggressive angle, and a low-slung profile that emphasizes style over agility. Power comes from a carbureted twin-cam 88 engine upgraded with a big-bore kit and stage 2 camshafts, tuned for increased displacement, stronger airflow, and more aggressive mid-range torque. The carburetor is jetted to match the build, meaning fuel delivery has been adjusted for the engine's higher output. A Harley 5-speed transmission and upgraded braking system complete the drivetrain setup, keeping power delivery mechanical and straightforward.